Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker comes out on Friday, and I can't wait for them to stop making Star Wars movies. Like all Generation X kids, I grew up absolutely enamored with Star Wars, but then as a young adult in 1999 when Episode 1 The Phantom Menace came out, my support started wavering. But a few years later with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, the franchise had redeemed itself, even with Hayden Christensen being a terrible actor. But then 10 years later in 2015, with George Lucas no longer being in control of the franchise, having sold it to Disney, The Force Awakens made Star Wars look more like a sequel to The Hunger Games. I decided to give it one last chance, but then in 2017, with the release of The Last Jedi, it became clear that Star Wars was now lost to the dark side. The entire plot revolves around how women run the galaxy because men are a bunch of incompetent buffoons, and at one point, Poe Dameron and his friends, not trusting the women's leadership and their plan, took over the ship by force through mutiny, only to later realize that they were incompetent buffoons and the women did know what was best. And what's with the blue or purple hair? Is it in the feminist Bible that they have to dye their hair when they become a lesbian? And of course, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, was celebrated for its diversity, which was a, quote, selling point. But liberals are never happy, of course, and despite the nauseating feminist turn the franchise took, many were still upset that Poe and Finn weren't in an interracial gay relationship together. Oscar Isaac, who plays Poe, quote, wishes that they were in a gay relationship, but people were too afraid. But with The Rise of Skywalker, director J.J. Abrams is gonna pound the final nail into the coffin of the franchise. He's hinting that it's going to contain an LGBTQ character, of course. Speaking with Variety magazine at a press junket, Oscar Isaac, quote, expressed regret, however, that the natural chemistry between Poe and Finn in The Force Awakens was not explored in an overtly romantic way in The Last Jedi, and wouldn't be in The Rise of Skywalker either. Quote, personally, I kind of hoped and wished that maybe that would have been taken further in the other films, but I don't have control. It seems like a natural progression, but sadly enough, it's a time when people are too afraid. John Boyega, who plays Finn, told Variety, quote, they've always had a quite loving and open relationship in which it wouldn't be too weird if it went beyond, but at the same time, they are just platonic at the moment. Variety noted that this would appear to foreclose the possibility of an obvious Finn and Poe romance, but J.J. Abrams left the door open to a different form of LGBTQ representation in the film, saying, quote, in the case of the LGBT community, it was important to me that people who go see this movie feel that they're being represented in the film. Of course, liberals are getting very excited that a rainbow person will finally have representation in Star Wars. So I would be willing to bet $100 that the film is going to include, at the bare minimum, a drag queen or a bearded lady of some kind. The destruction of Star Wars is a direct reflection of the destruction of Western civilization by the godless liberals. The original trilogy and even the 3 prequels taught important life lessons about spirituality, believing in yourself, and that sometimes the path to the dark side is paved with good intentions. This scene from The Empire Strikes Back when Yoda teaches Luke the Force is one of the most powerful scenes in cinematic history. Do or do not, there is no try, Yoda says. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. I don't believe it, Luke says when Yoda lifts his aircraft out of the swamp using the Force. That is why you fail, replied Yoda. But now it's just another Hollywood gender swap and pure feminist propaganda like Mad Max, Fury Road, the Ghostbusters remake, Ocean's 8, and even the new Terminator. And just when you thought the new Star Wars films were tainted enough, the lead actress Daisy Ridley gave an interview with the London Guardian and said that all Trump supporters are insane. Of course, Hollywood movies, music, and television shows aren't just entertainment, they're tools. they're vehicles used to deliver powerful doses of propaganda. And there's still time to order my new book, The Liberal Media Industrial Complex, in paperback from Amazon.com, and get it in time for Christmas to help open the eyes of some of your family or friends. If you enjoy watching my YouTube videos, you're gonna love the book, because it is 1,000 times more detailed and in-depth than these short and sarcastic videos, and it's everything that I want to say on a YouTube video, but can't for obvious reasons. The way things are going, it may not be much longer until my books are banned from Amazon for hate speech, and in the book, I give a few examples of how this is already happening. So head on over to Amazon.com or click the link in the description below to order the paperback, and there's only a couple days left to get some of my shirts from MarkDice.com and receive them in time for Christmas, but you're going to have to use rush shipping. So if somebody on your list needs a Liberalism Find a Cure shirt, an Abraham Lincoln Trump shirt, a Russian bot shirt, or any of my awesome designs, head on over to MarkDice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.